Oh, hello there, and welcome to the Writing Corner. I'm Jack McGraw, your host, and today we're going to go on a journey of writing education. Specifically in the Writing Corner today, we're going to be talking about feedback and the role that feedback has in the classroom. Thanks for tuning in, and let's go. Welcome back to the Writing Corner. Today's topic is feedback. To dive a little bit deeper into feedback and why it's so important, we need to realize what the lack of feedback is doing to the system. As of right now, most American students aren't getting enough feedback on their writing, and this is preventing them from becoming the best writer that they can possibly be. One of the main reasons why feedback isn't being as implemented in public schools is because of a lack of funding just across the board in the entire country. With a lack of funding, there's less teachers, and with less teachers, there's less man-hour to get the proper feedback back to their students. So to make up for this lack of funding, the public education system has relied on a system of rubrics and formulas so that teachers can grade essays faster and more efficiently. But what this is left behind is the student. Without proper feedback, students don't know what to fix. And this leads to just poor writing across the board and stunts the growth of the student. Beyond just implementing more feedback within public education, the amount and the type of feedback that is given to the student also plays a vital role in how the student progresses as a writer. Different styles of feedback relate to different responses from the students, and what type of feedback an educator provides to the student could shift and change what the student thinks of their own writing and what they need to improve to become a better writer. So to get a better understanding of the different types and styles of feedback that educators can provide to their students, we're going to be looking at an essay written by Ken Highland and an overview of all the different types of feedback that teachers can provide their students so that they can learn better and more efficiently and overall just become a better writer, which is what the system is currently failing at right now. So for this next segment, we're going to analyze the different types of feedback that teachers can give students at the high school level. We're taking examples here from Ken Highland's essay, Providing Productive Feedback. Feedback is one of the most important parts of the writing education process, as I've talked about earlier. But just saying the word feedback isn't specific enough to get straight to the point. Feedback is a variety of things, and providing the right type of feedback for the right situation makes a big difference in the type of education a student can receive. So Ken Highland really dives into this. But using Ken Highland's essay, we're going to take more of the examples and build off of the examples that he provides. So let's go down to the first one here. Example 1. This is a system of symbols that is used to critique the student's essay over tense, word form, spelling, wrong word, and article. This is a very common type of feedback that is provided to students, and one that it has its advantages and its disadvantages. The advantages is that it's simple, it's to the point, it's easy to read. One problem that can come up with it is if students don't know the key, and if the key is not provided, they might just see a bunch of symbols and be a little overwhelmed there. But overall, this is a very productive style of feedback that a student can receive. Sometimes it can be a little lacking, though, on providing detailed feedback to the student. Just saying agreement's a problem or tense or word form, that doesn't get to key structural issues that can be found within a student's essay. For example, if a student has this full essay about, let's say, healthcare, but there's just weird passages, the organization doesn't make any sense, saying the word tense is wrong isn't going to do the essay any better, because the essay is off topic, there's no organization. Things like that bring the quality of an essay down. And this type of writing feedback doesn't promote that kind of growth. It takes on more so the grammatical side of writing, which is still important, but it definitely leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to the organization of essays and how the author chooses to present their information. And the critique of that, this format isn't the best at that. We'll see other formats later on that build upon this and give the student a greater sense of understanding of their weaknesses and their strengths, what they're doing poorly, what they're doing well. These are all things that this does not provide the greatest level of feedback with, but not to discredit it. It does an excellent job of having the student understand the grammatical side of it. Sometimes you just need that when you're editing an essay. There's a lot of mistakes in there. You just need someone to go through and show you what you're doing wrong. Maybe the wrong word, the wrong article. These are all still very important and vital parts of editing an essay. And trying to discredit that doesn't do anyone any good. So once again, it's about picking the right tool for the job. In example 1 here, we see it has its strengths, it has its weaknesses. So we're going to move on to the next example that Ken Highland provides. This example of feedback takes a very different approach from the first example we showed. Instead of editing the student's work directly on the writing, this provides commentary on the side of what they've already written. So it doesn't directly say, take a comma out here, for example, or capitalize this. It provides it in commentary, which has its advantages and disadvantages, just like the first example we went through. This one has the advantage of being able to tackle more abstract issues because it's a direct commentary on the student's work. This allows the teacher to provide more work that's conceptual and less grammatical issues. So if a student is saying something that doesn't quite flow with the rest of the paper, you can provide a detailed commentary stating why it doesn't work and maybe what needs to change or what the teacher or professor would like to see in the work. Things like that really help to make a difference in a student because it gives more direction and it helps them really know what they're struggling with and what they're not struggling with. As with the first example, editing right on the material, that can prove to be difficult for the student to understand because it just goes over grammatical issues for the most part. Obviously, there's exceptions to that. This issue tackles more of the abstracts of it. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of The Writing Corner, and I'll see you next episode.